I observed a teacher in her classroom through the lens of an administrator, noting my colleagues' attention to learning differences, multicultural awareness, gender sensitivity, and ethnic appreciation. Miss Adrian's lesson and activity were thoroughly planned and well thought out. They accurately addressed areas where the students still struggled. This was apparent by the end of the activity when the students were able to successfully complete the assigned problems and accurately explain to Miss Adrian how to solve their individual problems. As she progressed through the lesson, she asked the students to orally explain to her the steps to solve the problem, in which they were able to do. Her strength was apparent by her ability to effectively communicate with each individual student in order to maintain his or her engagement and ensure comprehension of each math skill that was discussed. The small group setting allowed Miss Adrian the opportunity to address each student's strengths and weaknesses and highlight them throughout the activity. Miss Adrian's classroom management was well organized. However, the students did get easily distracted because the group was so small and they have all known each other for a very long time. I collected data and information and identified trends during the observation about the students' learning environment. The teacher's gender sensitivity was appropriately distributed between her male and female students throughout the lesson. All but one of the students were engaged during the presentation of the new material and skills. When I asked Miss Adrian about the specific student following the observation, she explained to me that the student had already completed the online portion of his course and he was simply completing seat hours to earn his summer school credit. In order to keep him engaged, he was working on additional assignments to extend his learning in the course, even though he was not participating in the activity she was presenting. When Miss Adrian presented the review and the strategies to use on the EOC exam, she talked about different mnemonic devices, such as King Henry died while drinking chocolate milk, which represents conversion factors during the metric system. She provided the students with worksheets in order to practice each skill set that she was covering during the lesson. Her multicultural awareness and ethnic appreciation was apparent in their discussion of how they have previously used conversion rates in the real world. Miss Adrian was very persistent in identifying key skills that the students still struggled with by determining where each student was currently practicing in the online portion of the course. As this online component is self-paced, each student can move at their own pace, and some students were farther ahead than others. She utilized this time as a review for those students who had already passed, the students who were taking a little bit longer, and as a means to introduce the students who were taking longer to the material that they would be exposed to once they move forward in the program. She was also diligent in monitoring the students as they completed their computer work. She reiterated a couple of skills that the students were particularly struggling with by implementing multiple examples. She was able to implement diverse instruction by including the multi-level use of one-on-one instruction, small group instruction, and the implementation of a variety of technology tools. She utilized the use of an interactive whiteboard and each student's computer. Miss Adrian assessed students' engagement by observing their participation in the activities throughout the lesson and grading their assignment upon completion. In conclusion, the teacher's lesson was appropriately developed and implemented as a review before the students' EOC exam, which is their end of course exam. I feel that the lesson went well and that the students were not disrupted at all by my presence and remained engaged in their lesson. I would have changed the one-on-one instruction component and allow the students to work in pairs in order to give them the opportunity to utilize a partner in building their understanding of the material. I have found in previous experience that oftentimes when students are able to work together, they are working just outside of their realm of comfort, and that their partner is able to help them bridge the gap between what they know and what they need to know. I was surprised by the teacher's ability to maintain the engagement of the students, seeing that she had not spent much time with them, and her ability to refrain from addressing their off-task conversations. I enjoyed the fact that Miss Adrian made sure that each student had additional practice and instruction on their concepts before sending them to work on the computer. I felt that this made her time more useful in that she was not spending the computer time going from person to person answering the same questions when students got to a place where they were stuck. This experience will transform my practice as a school administrator in a variety of ways. I will be able to better identify and look for gender sensitivity, multicultural awareness, and ethnic appreciation in teachers' instruction now that I have had an opportunity to participate in this observation.